Hello everyone, I know it's been a while, but we're back. This is my second YouTube video. We're here, we're doing this, yep. Today, I'm just brewing well, why am I talking like that? Okay, so today, I'm going over how to brew a very limited amount of coffee that you might have, you know? So sometimes you buy a coffee that's only, you only have 20 grams, right? Or it's 15 grams. This is a pricey coffee. You're kind of scared to brew it. You don't want to mess it up. You're online saying, hey guys, I don't want to mess this up. Or how would you guys brew this coffee? And to be honest with you, sometimes you just got to YOLO it. You got to risk it, you know? Like, you got to use your best judgment, you know? Do some research on how a roaster will brew the coffee. You can do that, but sometimes it's better to stay in your lane. Like, brew what you know. If you try to adapt to another roaster's brewing recipes or something for a 15 gram of coffee, chances are you're going to mess it up because you're not used to brewing like that roaster. You probably don't have their water or whatever. Chances are you may not get the best result. You could, but I think it's better to go with what you're familiar with. If to go with what you're familiar with. If you're only experienced with doing immersion brews like a Hario Swiss, something like that, a French press, stick with that. If you're really good at just brewing like percolation, like using a Hario B60 or a Catholic flour, stick with that. Stick with what you know. Okay. Again, you don't have a limited amount. Stick with what you know to get the best results. So this copy right here is a El Salvador Cup of Excellence. It's actually the #1. I think it's from the winner from last year, I believe, something like that. This is from Bean and Bean. They don't have their logo on this little thing, but 15 grams comes in a vial, well, a tube. And I already grinded the coffee on a ZP6 because nobody wants to watch like a minute of me grinding coffee. That's crazy. I don't even know who would watch like 5 minutes of me yapping. I'm trying to keep these videos short. I don't believe in doing like a long form videos, like 15 minutes or less, to be honest. Like, what are we doing here? So this is on their Stronghold. Stronghold is like a roasting machine. This is on their new Stronghold machine. I think beforehand they were using a Lauren, right? Yeah. So I was told this roast is better. I didn't really enjoy the first roast. I got this roast kind of like a, not really a replacement. They didn't have to. They just sent it to me after I was like talked about it. And they were like, let us send you the Stronghold version. Oh, before I even reviewed the coffee. But anyway, so this is 15 grams. I'm doing 50, so it's 15 grams and I'm pouring 50 ml or basically 50 grams on top of this, right? This is the pre-infusion, not pre-infusion. I'm doing espresso. This is the blue. All right. So from here you can kind of go. This coffee has like a chocolate like aroma to it, and the beans kind of look dark too, which is not a good indication because you don't really. Oh, it's like probably the praline. This note says the flavor says praline. I'm getting like a chocolate and some stone fruit on the aroma. So that was the first bloom. So for me, I like to do 5 pours. You can do 4, 3, it doesn't matter. Again, stay in your lane. But I do 5 pours because it allows me to easily adjust. I can pour, I can do more, do less, but trying to hit 5 pours, it lets me control and dictate the flow of the coffee. So the second pour was really fast, right? Now I can do a third one. We're past a minute. I don't think I want to go past 3 minutes with this coffee. 3 minutes and 15, 30 seconds. I think that's, anything past that, I think that's a lot for this coffee. I grind it quite coarse. I would say I'm at 5.0 on the ZP6. That's if your burlock is about 0, so like 5. Third pour. So that is on the coarser side of things. But by going coarse and doing multiple pours, you can kind of like still get like that max clarity while not like over extracting, if that makes sense. Over extracting as in like over extracting like the negative notes that are like a little too soluble, and by grinding finer, yeah, you end up like pushing the coffee a little too hard than what you want. So I'm at 2 minutes. I believe I have one more pour left. Do I? That fast? Wow. So last pour. I'm going to take this to like a 1:17 ratio. I like doing longer ratios because I like to really like try to taste the coffee sometimes. Some of the nuance and the complexity. Let me put this kettle up. And I do pour kind of fast, especially when I'm on a coarser end, because I still want that agitation. So I do pour a little faster. I'm moving quicker, you know, because the coffee is draining faster too. So you're moving, you know. But yeah. Let's see how quickly this drains. I'm not gonna do like a whole tasting thing, like what are my thoughts, because the coffee is hot. I won't be able to really get a good impression until it cools down to lukewarm kind of temperatures, like warm, like when it starts to like cool. But I will review this on my Instagram. But again, it doesn't take a lot to just brew. Just brew the coffee and learn, live. You know, sometimes you're not gonna get it quite right. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Just about 3 minutes, 15 seconds. All right, good. That's where I wanted. That's literally what I wanted. So, okay. Let's press that. But you don't have to be afraid of brewing coffee, people. You don't have to be. Just brew the coffee, live and learn, and the main advice is really stick to what you know. Don't try to invent a book when you don't have a limited. Like experiment when you have a lot of coffee. You have a 250 gram bag of coffee. Go crazy. Experiment, see what they're doing, try different things, but like really stick with what you know. Use water that you know will give you a decent result, a solid result. Because sometimes you're going into a roaster blind. Chances are, if you're buying a 15 gram or a 20 gram tube of coffee, you're familiar with how the roaster roasts. But even if you are, sometimes that roaster might change things up because they try to play it safe, I would say. As in, if they only have a limited amount of coffee and the coffee is really expensive, they might roast differently than how they will roast a normal bag of coffee. They might play it more safe, as in the coffee might be a little bit more developed, a little darker, so it's easier to extract, more soluble. They don't want to like make the coffee baked or underdeveloped, you know what I mean? They're like, because again, these roasters are worried too. They don't want to like mess up grain because now not only do they lose money, these people lose faith in the roaster. It's like a whole thing, you know? So, yeah, let me smell it. Smells pretty good. Like the cup aroma actually smells good. Sometimes the cup aroma is different than the brewing or the bean aroma. Sometimes the aroma is better. So I will say, compared to the first one, but what happened was Bean and Bean, I believe that's the name of the roaster, they were switching to the Stronghold, but they still had their old prior roast available. So they roasted the coffee, it was available, they sent it to me. But before I could even brew the coffee, I got an email saying, hey, we're sending you a Stronghold roast version of the same coffee free of charge because we wanted you to like because we want you to know that we're switching over to a Stronghold, and what you're tasting is not what we're basically on anymore. Like we're basically like different to what you're experiencing. So like we don't want you to have like this impression that this is how we're roasting currently. You know, like it's kind of a good thing. I think it was really nice because again, it's pricey coffee, so it's like I thought it was really nice, a nice gesture. And they also gave me another Cup of Excellence coffee that I will review and post on Instagram. It's a Honduras coffee that smells better than this one. I'm really excited for that one. But anyway, that was all. Oh, and this coffee was roasted. Another thing, we're getting close to 10 minutes, just about. When you have a limited amount of coffee, let it age a little bit. Let it rest, right? Like resting, like letting it age. All the notes and flavors are in the coffee when it's roasted. But sometimes the way gases work and offset and everything, you need to just let it rest and degas in the tube. All right? Don't be opening this tube a lot. Just let it rest. At least I would say 4 weeks is fair enough. This was roasted August the 5th, so it's been 30 days, more than 30 days. That's fair enough, okay? Unless it's a really ultralight roast, but still, let it rest. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush to burn money. You know, don't be in a rush. Relax. But anyway, that was just some of my advice and tips as you just saw me brew this coffee just now. All right.